Hi, my name is Neil Kale. I'm a high school senior at the Mass Academy of Math and Science in Worcester, and I live here in Westborough. I've developed a model that analyzes the 351 municipalities in Massachusetts and scores their susceptibility to COVID-19. These risk scores are critical to fairly distributing a limited quantity of rapid at-home tests and vaccines. Doctors, high-risk patients, and essential workers will have first priority on the vaccine. After that, though, if the Massachusetts state government had, say, 50,000 vaccines left for distribution to the general public, how many is it fair for Westborough to ask for? It's like an elementary school math problem, except now, towns' economies and people's lives could depend on the answer. We could rank towns based on their number of COVID-19 cases, but cases themselves are very erratic. A single ill-planned party could put one town higher up, but that's hardly enough of a reason to predict that the town will have more cases in the future. This ranking might accurately distinguish large cities and very small towns, but in the middle, it's essentially random. We could base our answers solely on population, but then how do we distinguish between similarly sized towns like Westborough and Grafton? Is the difference of 1,000 people really enough to prefer one town over the other? At that point, other factors like poverty rate, demographics, and unemployment become important. Using machine learning, I evaluated 29 potential risk factors, listed here. Academically, it's useful to see how the various factors affect the risk score. Low poverty, unemployment, and dropout rates are good for many reasons. Here's one more. They could reduce our town's risk for a future pandemic. Right now, though, we can't change these values, but we can use them to decide how much aid our town should request. To preface my findings, I'll briefly prove that my idea works. Massachusetts has a median of 7.8 COVID-19 cases per 1,000 people. A model based solely on population was only 70% accurate at determining whether a town would have a high or low number of cases with respect to the median. My model, seen here, reaches 82% accurate. Considering that 50% is as good as shooting in the dark, this way is over 1.5 times better. This is a heat map of the predicted risk in communities across Massachusetts. Large cities like Worcester, Springfield, and Boston are hit hard. Rural communities in the western part of the state, not so much. The majority of us are somewhere in the middle. Looking at local communities, Shrewsbury tops the list at 0.95, with 1 defined as high risk and 0 defined as low risk. Westborough sits at zero point 0.9. Northborough is at 0.73, and Grafton is at 0.65. The ordering is established on demographic, economic, and medical characteristics of the town. At a county level or a state level, it could justify the allocation of vaccines more than simply saying, this town asked first, or this town has a greater population. On the flip side, when town officials are out in the next few weeks or months campaigning for resources, such as vaccines and rapid test kits, you now have solid numbers to rely on. It's not about outwitting our neighbors. In fact, this could be a statewide effort. The point is making sure that resources are fairly distributed. It'll benefit communities that are in need, and in doing so, benefit us all by making sure the state, in its entirety, can bounce back from this pandemic as soon as possible.